Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a road trip. That's right, we are getting a road trip under our belt before 2024. So we are going up to New Jersey, which is my old stomping grounds, for Christmas vacation slash see the family slash, getting all that stuff done. So anyway, we're heading up to New Jersey. We're going to be leaving tomorrow, which is, what's tomorrow? Saturday before Christmas. So we are heading up there and we will be taking the Mustang Mach-E. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking right now. Well, don't you have a Model 3 and wouldn't you rather take that on a long road trip? Yes, but there's a couple reasons why I feel like taking the Mach-E this time instead of taking the Tesla Model 3. So let's go over those real quick right after the intro. All right, everybody, welcome back. So today is Friday before Christmas 2023, in case you're watching this in the very far future. And we are heading out on a road trip tomorrow, Saturday. So Christmas Eve is Sunday, Christmas is Monday. And so we're leaving on Saturday morning to head up to New Jersey. So it is roughly like 600 and I don't know, high 600 miles. We'll take a look at that in a little bit in the navigation. And like I was saying before, we are going to be taking the Ford Mustang Mach-E. So in case you don't follow this channel, we have a 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E standard range, so small battery pack, and it is the rear wheel drive. So basically the most efficient Mach-E you can buy, not the longest range, but one of the most efficient Mach-E's that you can buy, at least in 2021. And so we're going to be taking this on our road trip. Now, we do also have a Tesla Model 3 Performance, a 2022 I picked up about 1 year ago, actually. And we will be leaving that home and taking the Mach-E because a couple reasons. One, the Mach-E hasn't really been on a long road trip in a while, and I really kind of want to take it back out, get its legs all warmed up, and just trying to see how it was driving on a CCS vehicle again with the CCS infrastructure, because according to recent news, it looks like we may be having access with this car to the supercharger network as early as February, so just a couple months away. And so I'm really trying to make this like a challenge to myself and to the CCS infrastructure already existing, whether or not it's going to really work, and whether or not Tesla is just going to have to build out superchargers for everybody instead, which is kind of the way it's looking as it is. But anyway, we're going to be taking this car on Christmas weekend from here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, all the way up to New Jersey. Once again, almost 700 miles, probably a little less than 700 miles. We'll be doing this in about 2 days, so we'll be going from here up to, I think, Maryland will be our first stop. Plans have changed. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then from Maryland to New Jersey, stopping to see family along the way, and then of course getting up to New Jersey where we see family for Christmas week, and that'll be fun. And then we have to make the trip coming back as well. So obviously if you're watching this, there may be a second episode and you might want to go take a look at that. So let's go ahead, let's jump in the car, let's talk about, actually let's take a look at the car real quick. So once again, 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is the premium trim, so it's got the Ford Copilot 360 or whatever you want to call it. Black on black, nothing special really with the interior. Once again, short battery, so standard range battery, but it's only rear wheel drive, so pretty efficient. And we've taken this on plenty of road trips, and if you're interested in those, you can take a look back at those and see what those road trips were like. But honestly, this thing really does well with efficiency. So even though the EPA range on this is about 230 miles, it could probably do over 200 miles on the highway. So that's really impressive for a vehicle that has that type of EPA rated range. But Ford Mustang Mach-E's always seem to be a little bit on the conservative side when it comes to their EPA numbers. But anyway, we love this vehicle. We've had it now for just about 2 years. January will be 2 years. So let's go ahead and jump in the vehicle. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing for this trip. And it's not going to be completely accurate because we're not fully charged yet. I want to get this up to 100% before we leave because I want to top balance the pack. We haven't had this car up to 100% in quite a while. So what I want to do is overnight, we're going to charge the car up to 100%. So tomorrow morning when we leave around 8 a.m.,
we're going to have 100% battery, and our first leg of the trip is going to be probably about 160 miles. And that's what I want to do. And it's going to be kind of cold tomorrow morning, probably in the high 30s, low 40s. And so by the time we get to our first stop, it's probably going to be, you know, maybe in the 40s or something like that. And as we travel north, we're going to see temperatures do this because it is a little bit colder up in Jersey than it is here down in Myrtle Beach. So let's go ahead, jump in the car, and take a look at what our trip is going to look like.
All right, so as we throw in our route from here in Myrtle Beach, we're going to go up 95 all the way up to Maryland, Bel Air, Maryland to be precise. And actually right now we are sitting at about 75% state of charge. It's estimating that we have about 148 miles of range. And so tomorrow what I want to do is I want my first stop to be in actually, let's take a look at what it's showing us right now. All right, so right now it's showing us at stopping in our first stop, which is in Dunn, North Carolina, which is the Circle K, which is really cool. I was actually curious. So the Circle K ones, which are fairly new, they just started opening these up in the past like 6 months probably. So it's saying that our first stop will be there. Now I want to go a little further than this. I actually want to go to Smithfield, North Carolina, which is at an Electrify America station where we have 4 chargers. They're usually pretty good, but I just looked recently on the app. It shows one of them is down. So we are probably going to head to that one first. Once we're at a full charge, we should have no problem reaching it. So I don't really have any concerns there. But as you can see, it looks like we're estimating about 3 stops. So what I'm really planning on doing is making it 3 stops, but the last stop is going to be a pretty big, oh, look at that, it just recalculated. But that last stop is going to be a little bit of a long stop to get the battery charged up before we get to where we're staying overnight in Bel Air, Maryland. So as we can see here, we're going to be going up 95, going up through Richmond and going up through Baltimore, around Baltimore, I should say, and then ending up in Bel Air, Maryland. So yeah, we're going to see a lot along the way here, and hopefully we'll come across very little traffic. But, you know, that's kind of the issue right now, is that we are in probably one of the worst parts of the year to travel. We were really hoping to leave today being Friday before Christmas, but unfortunately, my wife had to work today. I had off, which is given me time to actually go through the car, get some stuff done that needed to be done. And yeah, so I'm actually able to get all this stuff prepared and ready to go for tomorrow's trip. And yeah, we'll be leaving Saturday morning. So the question is, how is it going to be tomorrow? And is the traffic going to be really bad? Is traffic going to be okay? You know, we're just going to find out as we go. And unfortunately, you know, we'll just take the knocks along the way and see. So my biggest thing here is, how are the chargers going to be tomorrow? When we end up at an Electrify America with, you know, let's say 4 stations, you know, are all of them going to be up? Probably not. Are they all going to be taken? You know, are we going to have a pretty light travel with a lot of people with EVs tomorrow? You know, it's hard to, you know, estimate this. And so we're going to see how that goes tomorrow, and, you know, really kind of get an idea of, you know, was it better to take the Tesla, most likely, or is driving a CCS on the current CCS infrastructure, is it still doable, and is it still easy along the eastern corridor here, the east coast corridors going north and south, 95 particularly, because 95 honestly does not have enough CCS infrastructure. It really doesn't. And now that Circle K has that one there in Dunn, North Carolina, that helps a little bit. But the other question is so many people are aware of Electrify America, not many people are aware of these other companies like EVgo or Circle K or these other companies that have like charge point chargers. And so the question is going to be, is like, do we follow the Electrify America path that a lot of people are aware of and already know about? Or do we try to go off the beaten path and try to do something a little different? And so I'm kind of on that fence right now, and I think we're going to try it tomorrow and see. When we get to that first charger in Smithfield, it's going to be an Electrify America. Let's see how that is. I'm just really curious because if, let's say, it's pretty busy tomorrow and let's say we have a wait, or if we see the chargers full at some point, I think we're going to switch gears a little bit and try to find the chargers that are off the beaten path, and or maybe try to find places where there are multiple chargers. For instance, Richmond, Virginia, if you go through Richmond, when you get to the north side, you actually see an Electrify America station that actually has 8 stations there. I believe it's 8 stations. And so there you already have a bigger opportunity to charge, but there's a heavier population, denser population of people, EVs most likely. So there's a better chance of it being more chargers, but also a better chance of there being more people. So you don't know. But then also down the street from that, Electrify America, there is another charging station that a lot of people probably don't know about. I believe it's an EVgo. So really tomorrow is going to be about learning from this experience. Even though we've road tripped this car many times in the past, gone long distances, you know, that was never during a major holiday like Christmas. So we're going to see how this goes tomorrow. We're going to see how it works, and then we're going to see how this trip works as well tomorrow, because as long as we could get that first 3 hours of the trip done early in the morning, we get to our first charger before 11 o'clock, I think that's going to be the big part of our trip. Get to that first charger, get it plugged in, and then after that, I don't think we're going to be all that bad, but we won't know until it happens tomorrow. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you a little bit more about what we did in the car to pack it up and get it ready for this trip. So make sure you stay tuned, and let's take a look. All right, well, it's the night before. We are getting ready, getting the car all packed up, just to show you how much I absolutely love not only EVs, but specifically this one, with all the room that you get in it, from having a frunk, which is just absolutely something that I love in EVs. So let me just tell you how much. So this is the frunk in the Mustang Mach-E. It is absolutely huge. You could see how much space we still have in here. And I already got some roadside emergency kit. I got some extra wiper blades just in case we need it. Our boots just in case we need some boots for while we're up north, just in case it decides to snow. We got this weird looking thing here. I'm not sure what it does, but I'm told that I should bring it with me. I don't know. So we're just gonna keep all this stuff in the car, and yeah, and this is gonna be something that we still have plenty of space to put stuff in. So that's really cool. Of course, once we come to the back of the vehicle here, we see that we also have our underfloor storage, which is really nice as well. We got our EVSE here for charging when we're there. Tesla to J1772 adapter in this bag here, just in case we need to charge at a a Tesla destination charger level 2. Then we have our little small air compressor here, just in case we need it. But we still got some space down here, and once again, it's pretty deep. You got about 3 inches or so of space between that and, you know, this here. So really cool. But we're going to go ahead and load up the car tonight in just a little bit. We're going to get all of our stuff in here, and then we're going to have plenty of space for our luggage and Christmas gifts and everything else. So we probably won't even have to put these back seats down. So we'll have plenty of space to put stuff in the back as well. Good morning, everybody. Well, we got the car all packed up, ready. We're actually getting on the road a lot earlier today than we initially anticipated. It's only 5:15 right now. We're hoping to be out of here by like 5:30 a.m. So that'd be really good. Right now, the battery, let's take a look real quick. So I just looked about a half an hour ago. It showed it was 99%, and it said it was going to be done around 7 a.m. And we can see it's still blinking, so it hasn't fully topped off the battery yet. And if we come over to this charger, it's the charger I'm currently reviewing, we can see that it is currently pulling 1.81 kilowatts. So it is definitely trying to top itself off. Like I said, it hasn't been top balanced in a very long time, this car. So I don't know if we're gonna have time today to get it really fully up to 100%, but just looking through the app a moment ago, it was showing 99% and 240 something miles estimated range, which is crazy on this car for being the standard battery. So we're gonna go ahead and get the car going just a little bit here. Hopefully it top balances before we leave in the next 15-20 minutes, and then we'll have a perfectly balanced car. So this way we'll have the most accurate percentage on our way out. So we're gonna hopefully get to Smithfield this morning early, so we'll probably be there before 6 o'clock. And yeah, that'll be great. At 6 o'clock, what am I saying here? Before 8 o'clock.
And well, not 8 o'clock actually. It'd be more like almost 8:30 actually. But either way, it's going to be a good trip today. So let's get everything thrown in the car, and we'll be out on the road in just a little bit. All right, so we just got in the car. I'm about to unplug it. We're at 99%. I just wanted to take a look at the trip here. So total trip shows 9 hours and 43 minutes, 3 chargers, total of hour and 20 minutes at those chargers. But here's the weird thing. We have what's estimated to be over 200 miles of range, and it still wants us to stop at this charger at 45% stated charge. I don't know why it wants us to do that. I would rather go to the Smithfield outlets, which is a little bit further past this Dunn, North Carolina Circle K, and that would be better because we'll burn off a lot more juice in the process. So I think that's what we're going to do, is like we're just going to keep driving. Maybe it recalculates, maybe it doesn't really matter. But either way, I think 3 stops I think is going to be the maximum we're going to have today. And yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty smooth trip. We're leaving about 5:40. We'll probably leave here in about 5 more minutes, actually. So we got to go ahead and unplug the car, get the garage door open, obviously finish up some last minute things. But let's get out on the road. All right, everybody, good morning. It is, well, it's dark outside because we're leaving a lot earlier than we initially anticipated. So it is 5:40. I've reset the trip odometers. As I just said, it wants us to stop in Dunn. Now it says it's going to be there with 27%. I don't know. We're gonna stretch it to the Smithfield one. We preconditioned the cabin, so the car's already nice and warm. I mean, I don't know what else we can do to make us go 160 miles on what it suspects is 200 miles of range. So we're just gonna go straight to Smithfield. I think that's the best thing. It's about well, actually, I can't tell the temperature because it says it's 55 degrees right now, but that's in the garage. So
Yeah, nice and
we'll update you on the temperature in a little bit. I think it's in the 30s out right now. There's no frost, so it's probably got to be in the high 30s. But anyway, we're gonna get on the road right now, and we'll see you somewhere on the road, and we'll update you as we go. It'll be dark for a little bit, so yeah. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, so we are just getting onto the highway, and it's now updating to about 44 degrees outside. It might still keep dropping. It's now saying that we're at 100% stated charge with 197 miles of range left. Like I was saying before, the other charger that we usually go to in Smithfield's only 160 miles away, so we should be fine. And really, it's going to be based on this efficiency number here. So right now, it shows 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is good. But what I would really like to see is at least 3 miles per kilowatt hour in order for us to be able to make that Smithfield charger. Actually, not even quite that much. We only really need probably about 2.5 to 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour to comfortably make the Smithfield charger. So right now we're just going to be cruising along. We got our hands-free Blue Cruise going, which is awesome. And I still got my hands on the wheel because I'm very much used to autopilot. So, but yeah, so we're just cruising along right now, and it's going to be dark for probably another 2 hours or so. So we'll be getting to Smithfield just as the sun starts to come up. But we can see the sunrise. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so we'll see how the rest of this day goes. But as of right now, I see no reason why we can't make Smithfield. So let's hope that we can make it that far. If not, the Circle K is a good place to stop for the time being. So we'll update you as we go. So we just went ahead, I threw in the Carolina Premium Outlets. That's the one in Smithfield there. It shows it's about 120 miles away from our current position. It says we're going to get there. Oh, actually, it did say 6%. Now it's saying 8%. So I don't see a problem with that at all. I think if we need to slow down a little bit, but I don't think we will. So we're going to get there instead. I just looked on the Electrify America app. It looks like that it seems to be a pretty busy charger at this point. And I was looking, there's one charger down. There's 4 total. One charger is down. There was 2 chargers in use. One was open. I looked at the app again about 20 minutes later. The one that was open was now in use, and then the other one was open. So I think there's a pretty good rotation of cars right now going through those outlets. And so let's just hope that when we get there, we're not sitting in a line. So the other option was to stop and done at that Circle K. But I really want to get further than that. I don't feel like that's enough. I really want to get a little bit further on the road and, you know, just kind of get the first 3 hours just done. And we were just discussing about maybe just taking this all the way up to New Jersey today and just, you know, getting the whole road trip done as opposed to stopping overnight. But I think we're going to base that off of, you know, traffic and other things that may come up. If for some reason we manage to get through everything without any traffic, maybe we just keep going. But if we hit a little bit of traffic and it slows us down, it's going to get dark early. You know, it's the end of December, so I mean, the days are going to be over at 4:30. So yeah, we're going to have to determine that. But at the moment, as you can see, because we've been stuck on a lot of these back roads, our 38, almost 39 miles of trip so far, we've been averaging over 3 miles per kilowatt hour. And based on the size of this battery pack, I think the usable is about 68 kilowatt hours, if I'm not mistaken. So based on that number, we should have a little over 200 miles of range at this rate. Now, of course, we're keeping our speeds between like 55 and 60 because it's a lot of these back highway road thingies, not really like major highways. So once we get onto 95 and we start cooking, we're going to probably see a pretty good reduction of efficiency. And that'll probably drop down to like 2.7 or something like that. But we only have, what was it, 118 miles to get to the charger. 132 is what it's projecting. So we're just going to take our time on these roads. You know, no rush here. We'll get through these little towns. Once we get to 95, we'll start adjusting our speeds accordingly and go from there. And yeah, that's pretty much our plan at the moment. We're still way early in this trip, but things are looking pretty good as far as an efficiency standpoint. The Mach-E's doing fantastic, nice and comfortable. And yeah, just looking forward to getting to some more roads with hands-free. All right, I hope you could see this a little bit. It's still dark outside. It's only 6:30 in the morning, but if not, at least you got to hear my beautiful, lovely voice. In the meantime, we'll see you in a little bit. Well, we are officially on 74, well, kind of our first major highway of this trip, and this is probably going to be for a little bit, and then we got to get off onto 95 in a little bit. So we are just cruising along. We're just kind of doing the speed limit right now to conserve some energy until we get onto 95. It shows at the moment 120 miles in our range and 101 miles to the actual charger. And yeah, so we're doing pretty well. Still over 3 miles per kilowatt hour at 3.1. Once again, just kind of conserve until we get a little further. So we'll update you as we go along. Alrighty, well, as you can see, it's starting to get light out. We're just about 10 after 7 in the morning now. We are on 95. We are in a hands-free zone, which is really cool. We just ticked under 100 miles of range left on the battery, and we got 76 miles to the first charger in Smithfield. I keep looking at the Electrify America app just to see what the status is, and it keeps looking like there's 1 to 2 stations open every time I look. So hopefully it stays that way, because we're going to be there in about, I think it was like another hour and change. Yeah, 73 miles to the exit, so a little over an hour before we get there. And yeah, it's getting very cold outside. It's now 36 degrees outside. Yeah, it's cold.
Let's turn back, please.
Yeah, I know, I'm about ready to. But hopefully our efficiencies will get better throughout the day, because we will have, the sun will be out, it'll be warming up the car, which means we won't have to use the HVAC as much. So we got a lot of things that are going to benefit us after this first charge, which is good. The first leg is always the least efficient, just due to the fact that you have to use so much energy just to get everything warmed up and ready to go. So the inefficiencies are always there on that first leg. But now that we get everything warmed up, we're going to be pretty good after that, I hope. So yep, Smithfield in just about 24 miles of buffer when we get there. So we got plenty of buffer. It says that we're going to get there with, it's estimating we're going to get there with 15% now, which is higher. Well, 14% just went down, because it started at like 9 or something, or 8 or 9.
6.
It was 6. That's right. It was 6, and then it kind of kept trickling up. But now it's saying 14% arrival. So yeah, nothing to be worried about there. Plenty of energy. We're going to go straight to Smithfield. We're not going to stop at the Circle K. Though I kind of wanted to stop at the Circle K just to see the Chargers, but that's all right. We just want to get as far as we can on this first leg, because we have no idea what we're going to encounter later on today. So I'd rather just get to that first 3 hours done, get all the way to that Charger, charge up, relax for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next stop. And we're still debating about stopping for the night, or just going through, or just completely ignoring the whole going up through 95 through Baltimore and Washington and all that stuff, and just going out through Pennsylvania like we normally would. So we're in the process of discussing that right now, and we'll decide that once we get probably closer to Richmond. Probably our second stop, we'll decide what we want to do as far as the rest of the day. So
I don't know, I'm kind of like gung-ho, like let's just go.
Yeah, we got such an early start.
Yeah.
So maybe we will just keep going through.
Because if we stop in Maryland, it's only 3 hours from Maryland.
Yeah, I know. It's really not that far after that. But it's going to be dark by the time we get to Maryland as it is. So.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see. Not a big fan of driving in the dark, so.
No.
All right, well, we'll see you at the Charger, hopefully. All right, we just hit the 50% mark on the Mach-E here, as you can see. So it's estimating we got only 80 miles of range at 50%. So yeah, that's a lot different than the 240 miles we were seeing this morning when we left. So I knew it was going to be a lot less, but I didn't think it was going to be that much less. But either way, we got plenty of buffer to get to the first Charger. Sun is starting to come out. The day's going to get beautiful, and the car will get more efficient. We're now on the highway, cruising pretty good. Still at 3 miles per kilowatt hour, but I know we're going to lose a little bit of efficiency in the next 10 to 20 miles here. And wow, is it really 32 degrees that my lovely assistant is pointing out to me right now? So it is actually a lot colder than it was when we left this morning, almost 10 degrees colder. So that's crazy. But yeah, so we're still on the road, we're still cruising. I'm going to keep an eye on that buffer over here, make sure that's all good. And yeah, we'll get to Smithfield in a little bit. So we are at the Dunn exit right now, and looking off to the sides, I don't see the Circle K anywhere to be found, so it must be down the road a little bit. But yeah, so we just passed Dunn, North Carolina. Now we are heading over to Smithfield, so we'll be there in about, what does that say, about 24 miles. So yeah, going real good, smooth. Traffic's been pretty good so far. Let's hope the outlets are the same. we're getting our first warning here for low battery, which always happens at the 50-mile threshold for the Mach-E, or at least that's a customizable setting. But it says reduce climate use for more range. Interesting. But 21 miles to the charger, 49 miles estimated range. I think we are plenty good. So still cruising. All right, so we are about 5 miles from the outlets, about 6 miles actually, about 21% state of charge left. So we're going to get there with plenty of battery range, which is good. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention before is that we've gotten a slew of updates these past few months. And one of the updates was for battery preconditioning. And it's supposed to precondition the battery when we're within 20 miles of the charging location. Well, I have not seen any notifications for that, so I don't know if that's even something that pops up to notify you you're preconditioning, which it should, or if that's just something that happens in the background. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. We haven't seen a preconditioning message, so maybe it's up temperature. So yeah, so I don't really know exactly where we're at with the preconditioning thing. So maybe we're already at temperature, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to be off the exit here in just a few minutes, so we'll see you at the charger in literally a few minutes. All right, made it to the Carolina Premium Outlets here. So 154, almost 155 miles, a little over 2.5 hours. We made good timing. 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, really good. 17% state of charge, not bad, not bad. 99 miles left, supposedly, to the next charger, which we might stretch that, but we'll see when we get this thing plugged in. So let's get it plugged in and see. Got ourselves plugged in here at the EA station, Smithfield. Look at this, we're only pulling 90 kilowatts. We were at about 115 just this couple minutes ago, but we are down to 90 kilowatts now. Plugged in at 17, already at 24. Let's hope that this ramps up a little bit, because once again, didn't see any preconditioning signs from the car, which is a little weird. But hopefully we'll see some better charging as it warms up. But yeah, still in the 30s outside, still very cold. And yeah, so we'll see how it is. But in the meantime, we're gonna go walk around the Smithfield outlets for a little bit and go from there. Yeah, it's cold. All right, walking through the outlets right now to go use the restroom. It's freezing out here. I already miss home, and we're not even out of North Carolina yet.
I know.
Oh, anyway, we spoke to some really nice people at the charger with their Ford Lightning.
Nice
and he's
color.
saying he's already stopped. Yeah, red color, really nice. He said he's already stopped 4 times. He's coming from South Jersey, so he's actually going to Myrtle Beach, which is where we came from. They're heading to, they're going from South Jersey, and he said he stopped 4 times already, and he pulled in at like 44% state of charge, because that's what the car told him to do. And, you know, so maybe, you know, maybe he won't stop so soon in the next one, but he actually should be able to make it to Myrtle Beach from here.
You would think so.
Hopefully. If he top charges it real well, he might be able to make it. But he says he's got the big battery. Doesn't seem like it with that type of
Right?
that type of range. So anyway, we're gonna find a restroom here and warm up. All right, so let's see what our next stop is here. So right now it shows us in Smithfield. It says the charge vehicle to 64%. Well, according to that, it says we're at 70%. So this should be going
Updating.
away. All right, let's just do it this way then. Trip overview. All right, so it is saying that it wants us to stop at this Electrify America. Now, this is in, what was this, Emporia, Virginia, I believe, right? And that's 99 miles away, which
Doesn't seem very logical to do. I mean, there's got to be another charger past it. Let's do a replace. And let's do one of these. And let's see what options we have here. So that's Emporia there, but it looks like, so this is the Richmond one. So this is what I was saying, is that we have the option, if we were to go through Richmond, to stop there instead. So the question is, do we do that? I think maybe so.
We're gonna go through Richmond. It's gonna be really busy.
Well, we don't know. It could be not very busy though. So yeah. So what number was that? Did it even have a number? Probably didn't have a number because. Let's take a look. Come on. That looks like a 6, right? Behind that.
Can't see.
It's like, I think that's a 6. So I think it's this one here. So let's click on that one.
That's a Walmart.
Yes. It's the
Okay.
it's the Richmond in the Walmart. Now the nice thing about this is this Walmart has, I think, what is it? Yeah, 8 stations available, and on top of that, there is an EV go down the street at worst case scenario. So I don't really see a problem with stopping at this charger, other than the fact that we have to cut through Richmond directly and not go around Richmond, which honestly would probably be a little bit better. Look at this Cadillac Lyric cruising in over here, very nice. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to charge up just enough to get ourselves to that charger. So let's go ahead and just say next and go, and let's see what it tells us to do now.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And at this point it says we are going to get there. Nope, it still wants us to stop at this charger. Why is it so...
Can we bypass it?
See, this is the problem.
Or-
Let's see, let's see if we can remove it. Let's look at this and see if we could do something about it. All right, so it doesn't look like no matter which way you slice or dice it, we still need to stop at Emporia. 170 miles is quite a bit to stretch, especially when it's mostly highway. So I think at this point we're completely overkill. We need to get going. So we're gonna unplug, get this car on the road. We're down to 60 kilowatts right now, so we're not doing any good here. We might as well just get going. So let's get out of here. All right, so we just left Smithfield. Didn't have a great charging session, or maybe I'm just misremembering how the Mach-E charges, but it just seemed like it was, you know, it went up to like 115, and then all of a sudden it just like very hard tapered down. I mean, it was like down to 90 kilowatts by the time it was like 25%. And I don't remember it being like that, but they're saying they improved the DC fast charging on this. Maybe the curve is better. I don't know, but it just didn't seem right. Plus, the preconditioning didn't activate.
And
Which
it
is-
was cold.
And it was cold. It was in the 30s when we got to the charger. So, I mean, I can't imagine the car was up to temperature already. I don't know. It just seems weird. I feel like we should have gotten better charging. But hopefully now that we've got a DC fast charge in the battery, hopefully the battery's nice and warm. We got it was about a total of 100 miles between here and the Emporia charger, because the next charger was just a little bit too far, I guess. So we're just going to do a quick stop at Emporia, fill up, probably get us through Richmond, and that'll get us to, I don't know what the hell the other one is on the other side of Richmond that we have to stop at. But yeah, we're going to get,
Yeah, we'll get there whenever we figure that out. But yeah, so right now we have 91 miles to the next charger. It says we have 124 miles of range, so plenty of buffer. So we're gonna burn up as much as we can here. And loving the Blue Cruise hands-free. I actually do like hands-free. I don't like the fact that you got to pay a subscription for it, in which we get 3 years for free.
Yeah,
So next
3 years is not bad.
January 2025, we'll have to pay for it if we want to pay for it, which I probably won't.
No.
It's not. I don't think it's worth it that much. But
You don't think so?
no, maybe the new iterations will be better, but the this version of hands-free is
not very good.
No, it's not great. It's not much better than autopilot, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's where we're at. We're at 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour for this drive, I believe. Yep. So we're just cruising on the highway, this is all it's going to be for the next 90 miles, and we'll see you around the charger. So at least it's warming up outside now. So we got something going our way.
It's 42 degrees.
42. All right. Looking for 70 now.
We gotta go more south.
More, yeah.
We're turning it around.
Yeah, that was funny. So the people they left South Jersey at, 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And they were going to Myrtle Beach. Now that should be, in a gas car, that's really only a 9-hour drive.
Yeah.
10 hours at the most.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's like going to take him like 14 hours to do that ride.
Right.
That seems...
It makes no sense.
Because he's still got 3 hours from there.
Yeah. Because it didn't take us that long to get to
No, because he's...
Smithfield.
Yeah, well, 3 hours from Smithfield to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock now, which if they left at 10 o'clock at night, that means that they're 11 hours into this trip, and they still got 3 hours to go.
Wow.
So 14 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. And that's from South Jersey.
Yeah.
If they were from North Jersey,
It'd be
it'd
longer.
be another like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. And he had the Lightning with the big battery, because I even asked him, I said, oh, do you have the small battery? He goes, no. He goes, I got the big battery. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I looked over at the screen, I'm like, you pulled in at 44%. I'm like, you probably could have made it at least another, 30 miles or something. Like, just, that's the problem. There's just not enough infrastructure. So many people are used to electrify America that they don't want to try anything else, which, might come down to us doing something different later if it comes down to it. If Electrify America seems to just get too busy today, we may have to find something else. But
another charging infrastructure.
Unfortunately, yeah, the 95 corridor is just not very well suited right now. But anyway, we'll see what's happening. So we're heading to Emporia. They got 4 chargers. They're all up and running, which is good to see. And hopefully we'll have some good charging there. So we'll take a look when we get there. So we've been on, what are we on now? 95 north. Oh my God, look at these potholes. Oh boy. Let's get past all this. Oh, the car's like, resume control. All right, let's just give this a second to get its bearings straight here. All right, so what we're looking at right now, so as you can see, we're about 44 minutes into this leg of the trip, which is pretty much all 95. We're just about 48 miles, which is almost halfway, and we're averaging 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So that's pretty good doing, over 70 miles an hour on the trip. So 51% state of charge, and 51 miles to our, or 50 miles now to our next charging stop, so Emporia. So only about a 100-mile leg of the trip here, real quick. Nothing special, but yeah, so far so good. Pretty smooth. 95 is fairly open right now. So we're just going to keep cruising on 95 for now. And then, so we're going to hit Emporia. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to get past Richmond on that charge. And then we're going to decide what we want to do as far as the rest of the trip today. Are we going to stop? Are we going to go through? Are we going to go out through the Pennsylvania route and go around, which I prefer, but, you know, so I think that's what we're going to figure out. It is Saturday, so going the beltways around the, you know, major metropolitan areas shouldn't be too bad, but it is Christmas weekend, so then it could be bad because of that. Hard to say. But when we get to the next charger, we'll see how the charger looks. Maybe we'll ask some people, see what they see with traffic if they're heading south, and kind of go from there. But so far, so good. So,
knock on wood.
Crossing my fingers and not putting my hands on the wheel because I'm on Blue Cruise hands-free.
Nice.
Not sponsored by Ford, because they wouldn't sponsor me. They don't watch this channel. What do they care? See you at the charger. Well, we made it to Emporia, Virginia, just to look. 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, about 97 miles on this trip. Really, really good. Just under an hour and a half of time. We're at 23% state of charge, and unfortunately, we've gotten to the charger, which is currently full. Looks like we got a Hyundai Ioniq 5, ID4. They're probably charging to 100%. You got the Mercedes EQS and an Ioniq 6, and then there's a Mustang Mach-E like ours waiting to charge. In fact, they blew by me on 95 a little while ago, so they were probably about 5 minutes ahead of us. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like we've got a little bit of wait at the charger, which kind of sucks. This is actually the first time I've ever had to wait at a charger, other than that time I was able to redirect and go somewhere else. But other than that, I guess we don't really have a choice. I'll look around navigation to see if we can find anything, and I'll report back. So just taking a look at plug share right now, we are Emporia right here, and as we can see, there is pretty much nothing else around. There's a level 2 here somewhere at a car dealership, not really going to help us. The only thing we could possibly do is go up the road right before Richmond. We can try to stop there, but honestly, I think that's too far. And honestly, I don't think these are really good car dealership. They're all car dealerships, which is nice that they have them, but not really something I'm looking forward to. So I guess we'll just have to chill and see what we need to do here. All right, looks like a spot opened up for us. Only about a 5-minute wait, not too bad. Let's go ahead and plug in, see what we get for charging speeds, because honestly, I am really curious. And I almost backed into the spot because I thought I was driving the Tesla for a second there. Okay, let's try this again, Paul. There we go. All right, well, charging up. That screen is completely dead, or at least the backlight is. You could barely see what's on the screen, so I just pulled it up here on my phone, and this is about 80 kilowatts is what it's showing. I was able to see it say about 115 at some point, but that was about it. And now it's just about 80 kilowatts, which is kind of terrible in my opinion. I can't imagine that it's too cold. So it just seems weird that we're getting so much, it just seems weird that we're getting so much like slowness with our DC charging here. It just doesn't seem right. But anyway, we were able to sneak in here at the charger, and only about a 5-minute wait. Not too bad. In fact, a Lightning came in behind us and they are already charging as well. So just a couple-minute wait. It looks like I'm getting a phone call. So I'm gonna go pick that up and we'll see you when we're done charging. All right, so got back in the vehicle. We're currently at 59% state of charge. It is asking us to charge it to 90%. That doesn't seem right. Now, as of right now, the station is full. We have 3 in the queue, just to kind of give you an idea. There is a Mach-E over there, probably a bad angle, but there's a, looks like an EQ, I'm not sure of the Mercedes ones, but there's an EQ something, and there's a Rivian now. So we got 3 in the queue now.
And it's asking us to stay here till 90%. I can't imagine that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and do a trip overview again. Let's take a look at what our options are and see what we need to do. So right now it wants us to go to this one in Electrify America, Spotsylvania Town Center. It's only 126 miles away. Now we were able to go from, what did we end our last charge at?
It was 75.
75-ish, and we got here with like 20 something, 22.
26.
22, I think it was.
22.
So we went almost 100 miles in 50%. So it doesn't really make much sense for me. Why would we need to charge up to 90% just to go 126 miles? I'm thinking like 80%, and that would be more than enough because we got here with 22. So, I mean, we got plenty of buffer. Can't see the screen, of course. That's still blacked out over there. Back screen's completely shot. But yeah, so let's, I want to calculate. I want to see if we have any bailout options just in case we don't make it. So my goal is to get through here around Richmond and then over to this charger in Spotsylvania. If for some reason we don't make it, let's see if we can find a backup plan for that situation. And then actually, if that's the case, then we're almost done at that point, because according to this, that's our last charge for the day, which is crazy to think. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me take a look at Plug Share and a couple other places and see what we have available. All right, so it looks like we're going to change our plans a little bit. We're gonna continue up to Maryland. I think that's our goal. It's pointing us to go to this charger here, which is just outside of Richmond, which we're not going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Spotsylvania one, which is in Fredericksburg, and we're going to continue there. And if we have to wait for the charger, we will, because it'll be about lunchtime anyway, so we can get food, we can wait around a little bit, no big deal. And then we're going to go to this one, which is just outside of Bel Air, Maryland. Or wait a minute, is it that one? No, not that one. Oh, it wants us to stop again right outside of Washington, it looks like, before we go around the Beltway there. Yeah, so we got some decisions we got to make. But either way, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the one in Fredericksburg over here somewhere, and then we're going to shoot up straight around Washington, and then go to that one there. So I don't like how we can't like customize this. It automatically does stuff, and I don't like it. But let me get this situated, and then we'll take a look again. All right, my last attempt here. This is just not as customizable as like a Tesla interface, but we're gonna cruise up to Spotsylvania, which is up here. So we are gonna jump from here, go all around Richmond, go all the way up to Spotsylvania. We should have enough range to make it there. It says we're at 79% at 135 miles. We should be perfectly fine to do that. I don't see an issue with that. Then our next trip is go around Washington and go all the way up to this one outside of Baltimore. So that should be pretty easy to do. I don't really see an issue with that. And that's what we are going to do. So we've been here, I don't know how long we've been here, less than a half an hour. It looks like the people with the ID4 are finally leaving, and they were here before us, way before us. So that looks like that is what we are going to do, is that whole shebang. So yeah, so we're going to take a chance, and worst case, we just drive slow. And in fact, we might just drive slow around the Beltway. And go from there. But I think we're going to try to skip this charger. We'll do the math once we get over there. All right, well, let's go ahead and unplug. I'm gonna let it go for just a few more minutes. I'm going to let this gentleman move his ID4 next to me so I don't confuse him. Let the next car pull in, and then we will get out of here. And I can't even see what we're... And this is the thing I hate about the Mach-E. I don't know how fast we're charging right now. I got no indications in the vehicle. All I know is it's 80% state of charge, 137 miles of range. I have no idea what the speed is because the screen is out. I'd have to look on the app on my phone, which is a pain in the butt. So yeah, this is a couple things I got to do in the Mach-E to get this thing kind of situated a little bit better for road tripping, so I know what the hell I'm doing here. Anyway, let's go ahead and unplug and get out of here. It's getting pretty busy now.
Okay, so just to kind of recap what we were going through on the charger there. So crazy, 4 chargers up and running. All 4 chargers were full. So we got there, 4 chargers were full. There was a Mach-E there, and he left, you know, shortly after we got there. We then came back, or we were there.
Yeah.
Somebody left. We pulled in. Lightning was behind us waiting, and then somebody else left. They pulled in, and then somebody else left, and then e-tron came in, and so they were charging. And then we walked into Walmart and came back out 5 minutes later, and there was a Rivian, a Mercedes, and that guy with the Mach-E was back. But he was sitting out having a cigar out in the parking lot.
Sitting in his chair, smoking a cigar.
He wasn't in any rush whatsoever, this guy. He was just chilling. So, as we were sitting there, the ID4 finally got off the charger. They had to be over 90% because they were there over 30 minutes, and they were there way before us. So they left. The Rivian pulled through, started charging. I left. The guy in the Mach-E was there, and he took our spot, and that Mercedes was gone.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Who knows?
But there's no other fast chargers in that area, which sucks. There's a level 2 like next, you know, down the street, but that's not going to do anybody good when they're traveling. So yeah, so that was a little bit of an interesting situation.
It wasn't bad. Like, people had proper etiquette, like waiting in line. It wasn't anybody cutting anybody off or anything or getting impatient.
Right.
It was,
And that guy had the right idea. He's out there in his chair just smoking a cigar in the parking lot waiting for his car. So I mean, it's just, hey, some people relax about it. Other people, you know, they lose their tops when they have to wait. Like, you know, I've been at gas stations where I've had to wait longer than 5 minutes to pump my gas, especially in New Jersey where it's self-serve or full serve, where you have to wait for somebody to come pump your gas.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But yeah, so overall, not bad.
We waited like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it couldn't have been more than 5 minutes. Okay, so overall, not bad. And now we're just kind of cruising, because what we want to try to do is we want to get to Spotsylvania, or I think it's like Fredericksburg, Virginia. Yeah. Now, if there's a wait there, because that seems to be, that's a busy area.
Yeah.
If there's a wait there, it's not a bad problem, because what we'll do is we'll just get lunch. We'll eat lunch while we're there. So one of us can watch the car, the other one can go grab food somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So we'll be there for a little bit as it is. So that's kind of the plan right now. We'll get to the next charger. If we have to wait, we'll wait. And then from there, if we charge up long enough, we might be able to actually get to the charging station just outside of Bel Air, Maryland. Abingdon was what it was called. Abingdon. So that's the idea. So if we can get through Richmond on this charge, get to Fredericksburg or Spotsylvania, charge up enough there to get to the next one that's going to be just outside of Maryland, or just outside of Bel Air, Maryland.
Baltimore.
Yeah, it's outside of Baltimore. It's in between Baltimore and Bel Air.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like right there. It's the last Electrify America before we get into Bel Air. And then inside of Bel Air, there's a few fast chargers.
There.
I think there's Shell recharges, which is fine. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan right now. So we're trying to skip over any of the major metropolitan areas. We got really lucky, and it was a great idea that we left as early as we did.
Yes, I would agree.
But this has already been a lot more stressful than if we just took the Tesla.
Yes. I'm stressed.
I mean, because like we're looking up on the phone before we get there, like, okay,
is it full?
Is it, not only is it full, but are there any down?
Yes.
Okay, if there's one down and there's 4 of them, that's 25% of the chargers are just down.
Yes.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
But then you have the consideration of, okay, it says there's 2 available, but when we get there, will there still be 2 available? You don't know.
Because when we got to this past one, it was full.
Yeah, because I checked like 10 minutes before we got there, and it said there was 2 available. And then when we got there, there was none available. And 3 people left shortly after we got there. So that was, you know, kind of nice.
It worked out, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so the next one's a crapshoot.
Right.
In my opinion. Because it's going to be the middle of the day.
Yeah.
We're going to be close to Washington.
Yes.
We're going to be between Richmond and Washington, which is always a busy corridor. And so really it's a crapshoot. And I think there's only 4 at that one in Spotsylvania. Which once again, so the Richmond one I was considering going to because it has 8 Electrify Americas. And then there's like, I think 2 charge points like down the street.
If we can use the charge points as a backup.
Right, we can use it pretty much anything as a backup.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
if we skip around Richmond, we might miss a lot of traffic as well. So that's the other benefit. So right now the navigation has no idea where we want to go, because every time I say let's go here instead, it says no, we're going to go there, which is annoying because it thinks that we need to get to this other charger first, right outside of Richmond, before we can get to the one in Fredericksburg or Spotsylvania. So right now, I checked from my phone, when we left the charger, we need 126 miles to get from that charger to the Fredericksburg one.
Okay.
We have 135 miles of estimated range on the clock. So we are we're still way ahead of the buffer there.
Yeah.
So, and we're cruising along. So, I mean, I'm not going to change anything until we get further down the road before we have to slow down or anything. But I think we're just going to make it straight to the Spotsylvania one as our third stop, and possibly almost our final stop.
Yeah.
We could make it our final stop, but then we'd get it to Bel Air with like nothing.
I don't want to do that. You know me and my range anxiety.
Yeah, well, I mean nothing, you know, maybe 10% or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so we also want a car charged overnight as well.
Yeah.
So this way, tomorrow morning
we can just get up and go.
We just get up and go. So
yeah.
All right, so that's kind of the plan. Sorry, it was a long-winded explanation of what was going on, but sometimes it's hard to explain all that when you have a GoPro in your hand. But yeah, so we're doing 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour on this highway, doing between 70 and 75 miles an hour, which is really good. And I think at that rate, at 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, at let's say 75% of the battery. So what was the size of the battery? 68 kilowatt usable, right? Kilowatt hour usable. So that is, if you divide that in half, that is 3417. So it's roughly 51 kilowatt hours of usable energy. Let's say 50 kilowatt hours. Multiply that by 2, that's 100. 2.8, let's say 3, that's 150 miles of range. We're just down to 75% now. We left with 80 something.
Yeah.
I can't see why we can't make it to Fredericksburg.
Right.
So that's it. That's it.
All right.
Done.
Yep.
Fredericksburg.
Here we go.
All right. See you there. All right, finally got it to listen to me. So, Spotsylvania is the next stop, 107 miles. It says we're going to get there with 21%. Why wouldn't you suggest this from the beginning? I don't get it. So on the other side here, we see that we have 153 miles of range estimated on the car right now, so that's fine. 108 miles to destination. So that is plenty of buffer. We'll get there. We'll get the car charging up hopefully quickly enough. And then we'll get some lunches while we're there. And then pretty much after that, we're gonna be at Bel Air. We just need to adjust and add another charger in here real quick that I'll have to do a little bit later. But other than that, we finally got it working. Woohoo! All right, we'll see you on the road. Would everybody like to take a guess as to why my speed is at 5% efficiency right now? That's really weird. But anyway, we're 35 minutes into this drive. We just got onto 295, so going around Richmond. Good thing, too, because there was actually an accident in Richmond, like just as you get into Richmond, a few miles in, there was an accident and a slowdown. So I'm very glad that we don't have to stop in Richmond for charging. We can just keep going straight through all the way to the other side and continue up to Fredericksburg. But yeah, so as you can see, we're about 40 miles into this trip right now. Looking at our numbers, we are 134 miles left in our range calculation, which is pretty accurate as far as I can tell, and only 86 miles to the charger. So actually we kind of overshot the charging again. So I guess at this point we're just gonna have to try to burn up as much juice as we can. According to how this is showing, I might be burning it up pretty quickly, but anyway, we're looking pretty good, and we're gonna get to Fredericksburg in just a little bit. Alright, so really cool update here. So we're coming up on 100 miles for this leg of the trip. Just over an hour, almost an hour and a half exactly. We are at 3 miles per kilowatt hour. That is crazy. Our speed is now down to 0 efficiency. I'm not sure how it calculates this, but it's just pretty funny to see that. And we have a 1% climate use because it's 50 degrees outside. And it's comfortable in here. We have it set for 68. And yeah, it's pretty nice this whole trip. And so at this rate, at 3 miles per kilowatt hour, that means that on this battery, we should be able to get 200 miles doing highway speeds. And I'm talking over 70 miles an hour. That is amazing. And as we can see here, we have 73 miles of projected range left on the battery and 25 miles to the charger. So fantastic. This Mach-E always outperforms so many vehicles in its same class, and definitely shows its efficiencies at highway speeds. So yep, so we'll be there in a little bit, by about half an hour, and we'll kind of do a crossing our fingers and hoping that we actually have a charging spot. So let's go. Right, so we got off the exit for Fredericksburg, and we have now seen the most traffic of the whole day. This area is always busy, this area, but like this is just even worse. And the worst thing is that we're going to a mall to charge.
Yes.
The day before Christmas Eve.
We're crazy.
So we're
crazy.
We're crazy. Yeah. So, and the we just checked the application to see what the status of the charger is. So 4 chargers, they're all up, and it says there's 1 available. Now, whether or not that holds true until we get there, because we're like less than a mile away from the charger, but we've been sitting here for 10 minutes waiting for a left turn light here because there's just so much traffic backed up. But that's kind of where we're at right now. If we get a charger as soon as we get there, we are lucky.
Yes.
That would be amazing. So this way we could just...
We might have to sit and wait.
I mean, we may be, but either way, we still got to get food. It's almost 1 o'clock, which we made great time.
We did. I'm impressed.
Our efficiencies were great. 3 miles per kilowatt hour, doing, you know, well over 70 miles an hour. And yeah, so just really really spectacular, honestly. It's been working out real well so far, but you know, a little traffic, we kind of had to expect this to happen. So
we knew it was going to happen, but when was
yeah, but I mean, this is not even that bad yet. Like, I'm really concerned about what we're going to come across in the next, you know, couple 100 miles here. So, but hopefully this will be our last stop, and if that's the case, then we don't have to worry about stopping. Well, there'll be one more stop to charge, just to have a charge for the night. To be able to get to Jersey and have it in the... Yeah, because right now, if we charge up here long enough, we can get to where we need to go, but then we won't have anything for the morning, and I don't want to stop when it's cold. Yeah, because then it'll take forever for the battery to warm up and get, you know, going. So, and since precondition mode is not working, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a setting I have to turn on. I don't know. I'll look. Maybe it preconditions automatically. Like, I have no idea. But it doesn't look like, from the way the car is charging, it does not look like it's not doing anything good for the battery, because it's just sitting there at 115, and then it just tapers down to like 80 for a little bit. And I don't know. They said they improved the charging curve, but I think it's not. Nope. Doesn't seem like it. No. Anyway, we're gonna get over there in just a minute and get ourselves plugged in, hopefully, and then we're gonna look at getting some food, and then we'll keep on trucking, I guess, and hopefully we won't look at too much traffic on the way. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Yeah. All right. We'll see you at the charger. All right, well, we made it to Spotsylvania, and look at this. We have 4 stalls. We have a Leaf taking up a Chatamo. We got a Kia EV6. There's a Mercedes. There's a Walmart van. And I just got approached by a woman who says, I'm number 6. Rivian. So, yeah. Oh, and there's a Rivian, yeah, next to the Walmart van. Wow. So we got quite a bit in the queue here, but in the meantime, let's take a look at our trip. 3 miles per kilowatt hour, amazing. 2 hours, 124 miles, and we arrived here at 19%. So did really, really well, honestly, for efficiency. This is aggravating because of, well, let's face it. I mean, look at everything that's going on here. It's crazy. But anyway, looks like the Walmart van is leaving. So people are going to be plugging in and hopefully getting going here. So let's see how everybody's doing. So probably about a 15 or 20 minute wait for a charger, but we finally got plugged in here at this Electrify America. We are initiating our charging. Thankfully, all 4 of these things are online. The line is now down to just 1 car, so not too bad. Waiting for this screen to do its thing. Come on. Remember last time we were at this charger was a couple years ago with our Hyundai Ioniq, and there was not a single car in this parking lot, hardly. I thought the mall was practically closed. There we go. Finally got some. These old machines are slow. All right, 112 kilowatts currently at 20% state of charge, so not too bad. 113. We just need to stay at this for a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how much further we got to go. All right, so things are not looking really good right now. We have then arrive at Electrify America. A lot of traffic. So let's see, where are we currently and which way are we facing? All right, so there's north. So we have to continue up 95 here. As you can see, we're going to be swinging around Washington and swinging around Baltimore on this next leg, which is going to be quite a bit. So right now we are looking at, let's just take a look. Besides all this traffic, as you can see around us, which is going to be terrible, it says that it's going to add an extra 41 minutes onto our trip. So let's hope that that's all it does. But anyway, we have right now, sitting in Spotsylvania right now, it says we need to get to about 77%. We only have 122 miles to get there. So honestly, 70% is probably going to be more than enough. Especially if we get stuck in traffic, it's really not going to hurt us all that much. Efficiencies will actually be better, as long as it keeps moving, of course. If it's dead still, then that doesn't help. But yeah, so 122 miles from here. So we're going to charge up for a little bit. My wife has run in and grabbed some lunch at the Logan's just
across the parking lot here. So she's going to get us some lunch, as it is almost 1:30 in the afternoon. And so yeah, we're at 29% state of charge, 68 miles of projected range, and we only need probably about, like I said before, 65 to 70% to be comfortable. And then we're going to stop at this Electrify America to charge up just a little bit before we get into Bel Air, because it's just a short hop there. Now, there are some chargers in Bel Air, but they're just like some smaller units. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to try to head in that direction and see how things go. So stick with us. We're going to eat some food in a little bit and enjoy our lunch. Sitting at the charger, where are we at?
50.
We've been here 20 minutes.
Oh, 62%.
We're only at 62% state of charge. 79 kilowatts at 62%. So it's showing about 77% for us to keep going to the next charger, which is 122 miles away. And that's literally basically our destination at that point. So we got 122 miles from here, which should be, it's saying it's almost 3 hours.
3 hours from here?
3 hours, which means it's traffic.
Oh.
So, wow. So just assuming what was supposed to be a 2-hour ride is now going to be a 3-hour ride.
Oh, well.
Not much we could do about it. If it tries to reroute us another way, that'd be great, but I honestly don't know if that'll happen. Okay, so looking at this map here, it's completely changed our route from where we are. So instead of going up 95 north, as they're getting mad at each other, it wants us to go all the way out westbound and around to come back to the belt around Washington, which that is a major detour. I charged up to about 80%. We have 179 miles of projected range, 145 miles based on that direction. So it is about 20-something miles longer to go that way. So I think maybe we'll try it.
If it avoids us getting on 95 and sitting in all that traffic.
Yeah, maybe we'll try it. I just hope we don't come across any charging issues along the way. But yeah, so I think we're going to try it.
Expected delay due to traffic is 26 minutes.
Okay, so now it's saying 26 minutes. Before it was saying
left toward
41.
Washington, then take the first
so
left.
That's not too bad.
I mean, I think no matter what, it's a crapshoot, and we just have to kind of deal with it.
Keep left toward Washington, then take the first left.
So here we are getting on to 95 north now, and we'll just see. That's all we can do. There's just too much traffic because it's right before Christmas and it's one of the busiest travel days of the year, so we're just happen to be in the middle of it. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So far the CCS infrastructure's actually not been terrible. I mean, yeah, we had to wait a little bit, but at least things have been...
We're sixth in line.
We're sixth in line, which we really were more like fourth in line, but yeah, anyway. All right, well, I guess we'll see you in a little bit. We'll let you know how things go.
At the traffic light.
Well, change of plans again. Pretty much the second we got onto 95 north, it said, you know what, you're good, just stay here. And the map seemed to have cleared up, and now it just wants us to stay on 95 north. And honestly, it's moving along pretty well. So yeah, so I guess really no qualms there. The other side was busy way back there, Fredericksburg. It always is on 95 by Fredericksburg. It's like it just stops at that exit all the time. So, but yeah, we're moving along now. So yeah. I guess we're good. 171 miles of projected range and 116 miles to the next charger, which is going to be just a temporary charge up. Or not temporary charge up. I guess it's a
quick charge.
A quick just top off that we need for the night. Really, we're not really stopping there to charge. We can get to our destination at this point. So really, I think we're in good shape. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. This is
We're so far, fingers crossed. We're moving.
We're moving.
We're moving.
Okay, so there was a slight change of plan. So there was some congestion up on 95, and it wants us to get off on this exit to take Route 1 north for a little bit. And so we got off this exit along with like a bunch of other people. And now we're trying to get onto Route 1. So whether or not this was a good idea, it's hard to say. But according to the map here, there's a lot of red up on 95. So we're just gonna cruise, I guess, you know? We're gonna stay on some of these back roads, or Route 1, not technically a back road, but I guess it is now. We're just gonna cruise on that for a little bit and see what happens. And that's about as best we can do at this point. So I think we both agreed that we are just going to Maryland and staying there for the night. Because I don't think this is going to get really any better for us.
No.
And I kind of feel bad. It's only 2 o'clock. It's a little after 2 right now. And, you know, we'll probably be there by, you know, 5, a little after 5, maybe 5:30 or something. So I guess we'll just stop at dinner. All right. Well, we'll update you as we go. All right, you join us on Route 1 right now, and there's a whole pack of cars trying to do the same thing as we are right now. And as you can see on the map, there is 95, very obviously backed up right now. And this is us going parallel to 95. So we are really doing well here, and we just kind of cruising. We're not doing crazy speeds here, maybe between, you know, 45 and 55. You know, people are, well, nobody can keep pace. Everybody's just going back and forth like this. But yeah, so we're making good time on this road at least. Once we get onto 95 again, there's no telling what we're going to be in for. But yeah, the road like this works perfectly fine. Looks like we're getting about 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour right now, just due to the slower speeds and a couple other factors. Some elevation, well, I don't know, it's hard to say. We're going up and down a lot, so I don't know if our overall elevation has dropped or increased or what the case may be. But yeah, either way, we're cruising along, and looks like a lot of people are going off to this left to go back to 95. Oop, let's stop at the red light here. So this was an option for us to go to this left turn to get back to 95, but as we can see here, that's going to put you right back into all this traffic. So right now, this is considering us to go over here to this one, which I will do. And honestly, I don't know, maybe I'll just keep going.
Stay on one.
I might just keep going all the way to this one here and do that instead, because honestly, yeah, plus 2 minutes. I don't think it's plus 2 minutes. I think it's a little less than 2 minutes. So yeah, so we are going to add that. Not exactly what I wanted, but what did I do? Oh, anyway, I'll just we'll just do it. I'm just gonna go straight, let it recalculate. It'll put us back up all over here on 95, and yeah, we'll go from there. In fact, we can even just stay on this as much as we want. At this point, we might hit some lights, but I think overall though the traffic will be a lot less. But anyway, we'll see. We'll play it by ear, see how it happens. But I'm definitely not making this left to go back to 95, because that looks pretty bad.
That's
so
atrocious.
We'll just, yeah, it's atrocious. Atrocious. What are you, Sean Connery? That route is atrocious. Yeah, anyway, it's loopy hour. We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, heading north. right, well, we survived the Washington loop. Honestly, it wasn't that bad.
No,
I mean,
it wasn't.
just trying to get to the loop was actually the hard part.
Yeah.
We had to take Route 1. We had to get off of 95 twice to take Route 1 to get around some major traffic to get back on the 95, and then we took the loop around Washington, and now we're in the between Washington and Baltimore part of 95. So we're almost to Baltimore, which we are then going to loop around Baltimore, and then we're pretty much there at that point. So we got a little bit left in front of us. It's a little after 4 o'clock. It's starting to get dark. You know, we're doing well. We got 94 miles of projected range, 37 miles to the charger, so plenty overhead, and 45% state of charge. So we're killing it now. It's working out well for us. Almost 4 miles per kilowatt hour just due to the lower speeds, and it's 49 degrees out now, so it's starting to
Get cold.
It's starting to get cold now. Even we're going north too. So, all right. Well, we are going to keep cruising here, and hopefully we'll be at the charger in no time. Well, for you it'd be no time. I feel like. All right, made it to Abingdon, Maryland here at our Electrify America. Let's take a look at this. Over 2 hours of driving just to go 100 miles. Oof, that was rough. But 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour at least. So we got here 26% state of charge, because once again, we're not doing this for any particular, you know, trip. We're just trying to get some more charge in us for tomorrow morning to finish up this trip. So let's go ahead and get it plugged in and see how we do. All right, plugged in. Let's take a look at what we got here. At least we got some newer units finally. Looks like they got like an 8-bay here, really nice. Got some green lights going. There we go. And now we're ramping up. Come on, give me the fastest of the day. Nope. That's it. 107, 108. Come on, 109. It is struggling right now to do 114. Come on, 115. Ooh, 115, okay. All right, so we're not gonna be here very long, but we'll just chill for a little bit, get the car topped off a little bit, and then we'll head on out on the road. All right, we're just about finished up here at the EA station. We're about 68% right now, charging at 75 kilowatts, which is actually much better than I've seen it before today. I think we were down in like the 60s by the time we were in the 60s. So yeah, a little bit better there. So now we're just going to go ahead, put the address of where we need to stay for the night, and we'll be, well, sleeping soon, even though it's only 5:15. It's pitch black outside. And yep, these EA stations are looking pretty good. This one's green lights are out. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it looks like it's up and running. So yeah, interesting. But anyway, let's get back on the road here and call it a trip. Well, partial of a trip. We actually got a little more to do tomorrow.
3 hours.
3 hours. 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Ah!
There we are.
It's bright.
It's bright. You're right.
I'm melting.
All right. So it is 5:40 p.m. We just made it to our destination for
It's
night.
the time we left.
12 hours exactly to get here. And let's just take a look at the stats real quick. So overall for today's trip, it was 10 hours and 18 minutes of driving, which means we did about an hour and 40 minutes of charging today. 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, not too bad. 511 miles today. So we did 511 miles in 12 hours. That's pretty bad. But considering what we were going through, the traffic and everything, it's not so bad. Yeah, it's just holiday traffic. That's just what it comes down to. But anyway, well, that's it for now. Stick around, because tomorrow morning we'll be finishing up this trip to North Jersey. So we got a few hours ahead of us again tomorrow. Probably one stop. We were calculating it out. It looks like we can almost make it without stopping, but we would have to like full charge, and then it would just not be worth it. But anyway, so we're going to
Grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, we're gonna get something to dinner. It feels like it's 9 o'clock at night, but it's not even 6. But so we're gonna go grab something to eat now, and then just relax for the night, and then you'll see us in a couple seconds. But we'll see you in the morning. All right, morning, everybody. About to get on the road. Car's looking pretty good. It's all wet from the rain we had last night. Go ahead and get my luggage in here. All right. This stupid thing, gotta keep holding it up so it doesn't get caught. Oh, and it fell off anyway. All right. All right, well, we're about to get right on the road. Got a little bit of a drive this morning, but nothing too crazy. And we'll see you out there. All right, well, we are getting on the road here. So it looks like we got about 172 miles. Right now we're at 76% state of charge, 152 estimated miles because the battery's cold right now, so we're not gonna get very much until we start warming up the vehicle for efficiency. So it looks like we're gonna stop at this EV Go. I am kind of curious about it. Might as well stop there and see what that's all about. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and start this path here, and then we'll go from there. So let's get on the road. Let's see how things go, and we'll update you along the way. Alright, good morning everybody. So we are on the road heading out of Bel Air, Maryland. We had a couple different ways that we could go to get up to North Jersey, Rockaway to be specific. And we've decided to take kind of the more rural route, which is Route 1 to, I think it's like 206 or something like that. A little bit more of a back roads kind of approach, not really the New Jersey Turnpike or the New Jersey Parkway, which are just...
Stay away from that.
Yeah, I don't know what they could be. Today is Christmas Eve, obviously, so we are now just kind of cruising about on New Year's Eve in the morning. It's just about 8:20 in the morning right now, so we are just hoping for a nice smooth drive today. It's only going to be about 3.5 hours according to our navigation, and it says that we have about 170 miles total to get there, and the car is projecting we have 167 miles of range. Now, I would just absolutely go for it if the car wasn't cold. It's 40 degrees outside. It sat overnight. It's cold. The roads are a little wet because it did rain last night. So I don't really want to chance it, but we might, depending on how it goes. So it wants us to stop at this Wawa at an EV Go. If you're not familiar with Wawas, they're kind of
a big hit down here.
Up here, I think we should
up
say.
Here,
up here. But yeah, so
turn right at the traffic light.
Oh, I'm supposed to make it right here. Sorry, world, watch out. Here comes me. Oh, there's a Wawa right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
29 miles on
yeah.
one.
So we're going to be heading up in that direction right now. We just got onto, I think this is Route 1 right here, and it says to be on here for the 29 miles. So this is a majority of our trip right here is just on this road. So we're going to kind of cruise along, and we'll update you along the way, and we'll see what we do about the charger, because maybe there'll be other options in that area. I'm not really familiar with that area of New Jersey that we're going to be stopping in, so I guess we'll just have to kind of see as we get there.
We're going with the flow.
We're just going with the flow. So, all right, well, we'll see you at the charger or not soon. Heading down the Route 30, I guess this is, in Pennsylvania now. And we're at 620 something feet of elevation. We're starting to lose it now. So we gained a lot of elevation going through that Maryland, Pennsylvania area. And right now it says that we're going to arrive at 122 miles to get there, and we're showing an estimated range of 107. I was really hoping to stretch it, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it up, unless for some reason this 500 feet of elevation manages to get us a bunch of regen here, but I don't think that's going to necessarily happen. But it looks like we're going to be stopping at that Wawa in a little bit. It also looks like we have a lot of other chargers that are available if the Wawa station doesn't happen to have a very good charging situation. But anyway, yep, as you can see, all of our chargers that we have available, just in case for some reason that one doesn't work. There's Electrify America down the road, so that's always a good safe alternative. But I want to get to the Wawa because I want to see this EV Go. I've never actually charged on an EV Go before, so I want to give it a shot. Anyway, here we are cruising down the highway. Blue Cruise hands-free is still working really well. Weather could be nicer, but you know, at least it's not snowing.
I was gonna say.
Alright, so we made it to the EV Go stations. Change of pace here. I think I got the right one here. They got two different units. I think this is the faster of the two. So we're going to go ahead and get this plugged in. 3.1 mile per kilowatt hour, just over 70 miles to get here. We're at 40%. We don't need very much to get to our destination, but I don't want to arrive there empty either. Almost an hour and a half it took us to get here. So let's go ahead. I actually have to get this thing set up. And on my app here, because I have like a plug-in charge for this. I forget what they call it exactly, but I want to get this set up for here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, well, we're back in the vehicle. We just shot a quick segment here on Auto Charge Plus for EV Go. So I got my car enrolled in Auto Charge Plus, which is really cool. So as we can see on this here, we are heading to Rockaway, New Jersey. Let's see what it says as far as our overview here. So it looks like we got about 102 miles to go, so pretty good. Let's just take a quick look. Does it say how long we need the charge here for? Not really, does it? Well, it says that we're gonna get there with 16%. So we are currently at 64% state of charge, 140 miles projected range, probably more like 120 based on the weather. It's 42 degrees outside. The sun unfortunately likes to hide behind the clouds, so we're not going to get very much heat from the sun today. But we got the car kind of preconditioning the cabin right now while we're plugged into the charger. Charger is charging up the vehicle, which is cool. And yeah, so we're going to get on the road here in just a minute. Alright, minor detour here. I forgot my really long, thick extension cord at home so I could charge the car when we get to the house. So it looks like we're going extension cord shopping.
Home Depot.
Home Depot.
A Christmas bow.
You want to put a Christmas bow on it?
Yeah.
Well, I need to use it when we get to your parents' house. All right, so we got to the Home Depot here. We're in Jersey, and $55 for an extension cord. Ridiculous. Yeah, my cards got declined.
I had to pay for it.
Your card works fine. Whatever. Anyway, so we just finished up getting our extension cord. Now we can finish up our trip back to Rockaway, and get this trip over with. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright everybody, we are in Rockaway, New Jersey, our old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Where we're from. So we are here, and we're just taking the last stretch here to the house, and yeah, we're doing well. Car's performing great, 21% on the battery. Probably just be a couple more percent before we get there. But yeah, it was a good road trip, and yeah, it's pretty nice. But anyway, we'll finish up the video when we get to the house. But today is Christmas Eve, so I want to make sure I wish everybody out there a nice Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Make sure you be safe out there if you are traveling like we did. And we'll see you in 2024. And yeah, that's about it. So we'll see you in a little bit, and we'll polish up the video. We'll see how well we did on this entire trip. And yeah, we'll kind of discuss our thoughts onto CCS infrastructure and stuff as well. Yeah, so really the big subject of this trip was really the CCS infrastructure and how is it ready, like just in general. And I think this was probably the worst case scenario for traveling with a CCS vehicle. But we'll talk about our thoughts when we get to the house. Right now I'm just gonna do some spirited driving in the Mach-E here, and on some of these old school roads that I remember driving on. So
oh man,
lots of memories here.
A lot of reminiscing.
Not the giant Santa Claus. All right, made it to our destination here. A little about 56 minutes since we left the Home Depot. This is not all that important. What's really important is seeing the trip. So it looks like a little over 14 hours total to get here, which is a little bit more than normal. But this is also including some roundabout trips that we did as well. A couple detours. 688.5 miles. Wow, that's quite a bit of miles. I didn't think it was going to be that much. But we averaged 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, which is really good. I mean, you can't really ask for anything better than that. We got to the house, 19% state of charge, 35 miles of additional range. So perfect as far as I can hope, and this was good. Let's polish up the video.
Well, we're here. We made it.
We did make it. Back to Jersey. Anyway, so yeah, so the trip was good. So honestly, I can't believe how lucky we got.
Very lucky for Christmas.
I mean,
Eve.
we hit some traffic, but I don't think we hit near as much traffic as a lot of people experienced. I think a lot of people who left after us probably hit a lot worse traffic. And
absolutely,
yeah, we got lucky. Plus the navigation was smart enough to be like, okay, duck off this exit, drive 5 or 6 miles, get back on, and then okay, duck off the next exit, get back off. And so I think that saved us probably a solid hour yesterday as well. So I think overall, I mean, the trip wasn't that bad. I mean, 14 hours, and that's including the little bit of running around we did last night in the car, and all the traffic, and yeah, and that little detour we took today to go to Home Depot. We had to pick up that cable or cord. So really, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not that bad.
No, 14 hours isn't
14
that bad.
hours, and that's not including charging though.
Yeah,
so
no.
it's, add another hour and a half for charging, maybe
So
2 hours if you count today's EV Go session, but that was kind of a...
That was a quick top
That was
off.
pretty quick, yeah. We didn't necessarily need to be there that long. We were there longer just because I wanted to shoot that video. But yeah, so overall I think it's pretty good. Now let's talk about the CCS infrastructure. So we started off, we stopped in the first one at Smithfield. Smithfield. Yes. Mm-hmm. So we stopped at Smithfield, North Carolina, and we grabbed the last charger that was available because one was down out of the 4. So there was 3. Mm-hmm. There was a Lightning charging. There was another guy that was charging. We stole the last one. Mm-hmm. But there was never a line there.
No.
So it was rotating through pretty well. Yeah. Then we stopped at the next charger, which was...
I'm drawing a blank.
I can't remember where it was.
But we had a 5-minute
wait. Emporia, that's what it was. Emporia, Virginia. Stopped in Emporia, 5-minute wait, got into the charger. There was a couple cars after us waiting, but we got lucky and only had like a 5-minute wait.
Yeah. Got in there, charged up the car, got out at Emporia, and then we got to Spotsylvania. Mm-hmm. Which and we had the longest wait.
Yeah, which I kind of regret doing that. We should have went the extra 20 miles to the next charger, which I wasn't aware of until we had stopped already at Spotsylvania. Mm-hmm. And that was the worst wait. But
it wasn't that bad though.
We made the best of it. Yep. Because we had like a 15-minute wait.
Yep.
And you went in.
And got food.
And got lunch.
Yep.
So by the time that, you know, I waited for a spot, we got our lunch.
Ate it.
We ate the lunch. And then we ran in to the mall for 5 minutes, ran back out, got to the car. We were at like 80%. It was perfect. Got in the car, and from there, we made it all the way to basically Bel Air. We stopped in Abingdon, which was 5 minutes from where we needed to go, just to give us a little bit of charge for the night. Mm-hmm. And that was that.
I think we timed it really well.
I think so. We made the right idea to leave
early
before 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Because we literally got to the house that night at 5:40 p.m., which was exactly 12 hours. Exactly 12 hours from when we left the house. So I think overall we did well. Now the CCS infrastructure was pretty abysmal. I mean, this was holiday weekend. They should have been on top of these chargers. I know that these chargers that were down have been down because I've been checking those chargers for a while on this trip. Yeah, I've been looking at the app for the last few weeks going, okay, let's check Smithfield. Is this one good? Nope, there's a charger down. And it's been down for weeks now. And so, like, they really should have been on point to get this stuff done. And the worst part is, especially for the holidays, they knew this was going to be like this. Yeah. And especially in certain areas where, like, you know, there was no other option. Like Emporia. Emporia had one CCS charger, which was the Electrify America, and then there was a level 2 down this. That was it for the entire town of Emporia, which is a Route 95 town, city, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
There's plenty of opportunity for companies to come in and just steal the thunder from Electrify America. What little thunder they do have. But, like, if everybody's just tied to it, you know, some people have free charging, or some people have, like me, we got plug and charge for Electrify America. Not that that's a benefit. It just saves us 10 seconds when we get to a charger. But, I don't know. Either way. And then we woke up this morning in Maryland, stopped at the Wawa to stop at the EV Go. We used auto charge, which
is pretty cool.
Plugged in.
Yeah.
Charged the car, just like plug and charge Electrify America. That was neat. So I got the car registered with that now, and then we got here, and here we are. And so what do you think overall? What do you think? How do you think the trip was versus like traveling and for charging?
I think it was really good, to be honest with you, because we timed it right. We got the charging was okay. We didn't have any issues charging and stuff. And it could have been better. It's not as smooth as Tesla. But I think it was good. Like, I wouldn't complain about our trip today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good, but I also think we got really lucky.
We did. We timed it just right. There's
a lot of places where waiting for a charger for 5 minutes is normal. And we made that happen on Christmas weekend. Like, potentially the busiest travel day of the year.
True.
And we had no more than like a 15-minute wait at a charger. I think we got lucky. But there was one charger I was looking at in Wilmington, Delaware.
That's right.
They have 8 chargers there, 8 EA chargers. 2 of them are down, and there was people on PlugShare saying that there was multiple hour wait.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, multiple hour wait.
That's not okay.
No, that is not okay. That's not okay
See,
at
that's
all.
what I was afraid we were gonna run into.
Me too. I was afraid we were going to get to a parking lot and there was going to be like 12 cars lined up.
Yeah.
And there was going to be like 2 chargers working.
Fredericksburg was really busy.
Fredericksburg was awful.
I wouldn't do that again.
Just the town is like just so busy because it's right off of 95. It's a big junction point.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, when we got there, a 15-minute wait.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
hard to complain about that.
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't complain.
do things need to improve? Yes, absolutely. Will things improve? Yes, absolutely. Because as of 2024, which we're almost into, this car specifically, not right when 2024 hits, but eventually in 2024, this car will have access to supercharging network.
Sweet.
Or at least that's the current rumor.
Okay.
So potentially the next time we road trip this car, not going back obviously, but potentially the next time we road trip, we might have an adapter and we might be able to stop at superchargers instead of...
That would be very nice.
Yes. I would love that. So.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
But anyway.
Long-winded.
Long-winded, but I think it was necessary because the whole reason we took this car was because I wanted to test the limitations of the CCS network.
Okay.
And we saw many, many problems with it.
Yeah.
That we would not have come across if we drove the Tesla. We could have drove the Tesla. We could have stopped 3 or 4 times like we normally do, and we would have never seen any issue. We would have been completely oblivious to the world of this, which we own this. We own a CCS
I love
vehicle.
This car, though.
It's a great car. I mean,
it's comfortable for long road
It's
trips.
extremely comfortable. I mean, this thing is wonderful over bumps. It just soaks them up. You drive down the road like anything else. It's just beautiful. And the hands-free is very good. It's completely unnecessary, but it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And I liked taking this on a road trip better than the Tesla.
Agreed.
If it wasn't for the charging network.
Yeah.
But the reason I take the Tesla more on the trips is just because it's seamless.
Yeah.
But I wanted to test it. That was what today's video was about.
And it was a good test.
It was a great test.
Yeah,
but I still think we got extremely lucky.
We did.
And I want to hear from you. If you're watching this right now, if you were on the road traveling with your vehicle, Tesla or CCS, I really don't care. Put down in the comments what your experience was. Like, I don't care where you are in the country. We were up and down the 95 corridor here. But I want to see what your experience was in this time of year. We're going to be doing this trip on the way back right before New Year's as well, but I don't think it's going to be as bad. But yeah, just leave in the comments what you think, because I'm really curious to hear what other people's experiences are all over the country.
Absolutely.
You know, east, west, north, south, it doesn't matter. I just want to hear what other people think. But anyway, let's wrap it up. Anything else?
No, I think
we covered it all. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for listening as well, because we just tend to ramble. And we'll see you on the trip going back to Myrtle Beach from here in New Jersey on a video coming soon. So thanks again for watching. And check us out, all our social medias. We post on all our social medias when we travel. Like, it's a really interesting thing to see us as we post, you know, when we stop. And I usually put how long we're waiting and whatnot. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. And remember, welcome to the future.
And welcome to Tech Motoring.
See? I like this. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon.